The Las Vegas Raiders got completely embarrassed last week on Sunday, losing 3-0 to the Minnesota Vikings. The Raiders now fall to 5-8. And you know what has to be one of the worst offensive performances in Raiders history and quite possibly in the history of the NFL. Just the game was very ugly to watch. And at the end of the day, ultimately we lost the game, and that's what makes it that much worse. But after watching some film, there is at least some bright spots from this game, and that's on the defensive side of the football. And for today's video, I wanted to focus on our first round pick, Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson struggled early in the season, and a lot of fans were quick to label him as a bust and just write him off as a player completely. But after watching him in this game, I think there's a lot of hope for Tyree Wilson moving forward. Tyree Wilson by far played his best game of the season last week against the Vikings, and there was something I noticed that I think could really change everything for the development and for the trajectory of Tyree Wilson moving forward. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. Now right here we can see Tyree Wilson is lined up in the interior as a defensive tackle. He's got his hand in the dirt, and before, when he did this early in the season, he had such a slow get off. But here we can see he's improving in that aspect drastically, and here he uses his strength while also being able to use his hands effectively, and he just overpowers the offensive lineman and is able to create some serious push in the pocket. Robert Spillane helps out on the blitz, and eventually Tyree Wilson finishes the play to get his second career sack in the NFL. Just very exciting to see plays like this from our rookie first rounder. Now right here, Tyree Wilson is lined up as a nose tackle, and here he is going to be able to create some serious push in the interior once again. Tyree Wilson is able to just use his strength to push the center back at least 5 yards. Just look at that strength. Now he wasn't able to disengage with the use of his hands, but by Tyree Wilson creating this push, this forced Josh Dobbs to move outside to his left where we didn't have anybody containing the edge. It looks like Crosby was supposed to be there running this stunt, but it allows Dobbs to get some yards on the scramble. But Tyree Wilson did an excellent job right here in the interior once again. The Raiders defensive line was able to create pressure, and here Tyree Wilson once again is just too powerful for the guard to handle. He's able to push him back and disengage the hands, not allowing the guard to get a hold of his pads. And ultimately Crosby's the one who gets a sack, but Tyree Wilson was right there, and he very likely would have brought him down if Crosby didn't get there first. So just great stuff from both of them right here, and really that's what we want to see moving forward. Both Maxx Crosby and Tyree Wilson creating havoc in the backfield. Here, Tyree Wilson is able to create some good push, and what I liked here on this rep is that Tyree Wilson sees that he's not going to be able to get to the quarterback in time. He's getting the ball off quickly, so he did the next best thing, and that's get his hands up to try to swat down the pass. It looks like he gets pretty close to getting a hand on it as well, but I just like the awareness from him right here. And eventually, if he keeps up that habit, it'll definitely pay off for him, especially with those long arms of his. Tyree Wilson is also able to get involved in the run game right here. He's able to fight through the block, get free of his man, and he has the awareness to locate the ball carrier and fight to make the tackle. Just good rep right here. Now right here, this is a losing rep from Tyree Wilson. This is where he needs to improve on to just take that next level. He's going against a bigger blocker, the left tackle, so he can't really rely solely on the strength. But here he gets wiped out because of the technique from the left tackle. He's able to get his hands on his shoulder plate, and from there he just has full control over Tyree Wilson. Now this isn't an easy thing to develop. It takes time, but if he can continue to win the hand battles and develop more technique in this respect, he can be a real game changer because we know he has elite strength. Now Tyree Wilson is going to go against number 71 once again. I love this work right here we see from Tyree Wilson on the inside, and this time he does a much better job on the left tackle. This time he's able to disengage his left hand, shows off his strength, and he is right in the thick of things. But it looks like Maxx Crosby over pursues on the edge, though he can't bring him down for the sack. I just love the overall effort and athleticism from Tyree Wilson pursuing the quarterback till the very end of the play. And once again, just another example of Tyree Wilson creating some serious push and pressure at that defensive tackle position. This time we see Tyree Wilson on the edge. He has his hand in the dirt once again, which is interesting. He seems to be a lot more confident doing this than what we saw early in the season. But here he uses the bull rush technique to push his man back. He uses his arm length for leverage, and he forces the quarterback to definitely feel the pressure. After that, he's forced to run outside and just throw this for an incomplete pass. Good stuff. On the edge again, and here he completely blows this play up. Just look at how dominant he is on this rep, using the bull rush technique once again, but he's just going to overpower his man completely, and before you know it, he is right in the lap of the quarterback, and he's just forced to just throw this out of bounds. Fantastic stuff right here. That's where we see the elite strength. I like this rep here from Tyree against the run, and although Max is the one who makes the tackle, I like what I saw from Tyree Wilson right here. He does a great job swatting the hands of the left tackle, which allows him to blow right past him, and he was in a very good position to make the run stuff. So as you can see, he's getting better when it comes to this stuff with the hand technique, with disengaging with blockers. He's not fully relying on his strength every time. Now right here we can see Tyree Wilson being disruptive in the backfield. Once again, he's able to swat the hands and fight through contact, and he puts pressure on the quarterback, which eventually leads to an incomplete pass. Look, Tyree Wilson was definitely cooking in this game. Now here's another good rep against the run. This one is in the Kansas City game, but he's just able to fight through the block and shuts down the run. And then right here versus Miami, it's been a couple weeks now since they've been using him more at the defensive tackle position, and he's been making more plays as the weeks have gone by than he was primarily making on the edge early in the season. And here's just another great example of him creating some legitimate push in the pocket and just using that freakish strength to bully his man back right here. But overall, Raider Nation, last game versus the Vikings was the first game where I legitimately saw Tyree Wilson flash off the screen for me. Watching the regular broadcast of this game, I knew he had a solid game, but I didn't even realize he was a lot more disruptive than what I initially anticipated watching the film now. And this is now a couple weeks of him getting more and more snaps at the defensive tackle position, and so far I feel like he's been thriving on the inside. I want to see Tyree Wilson on the field as much as possible moving forward in the season, with the Raiders now being 5-8, the playoffs being a very big long shot. I want to see this guy develop as much as possible. I would not mind seeing more of Tyree Wilson at the defensive tackle position, having Malcolm Koonce and Crosby at the edge, and then the other defensive tackle being like Adam Butler. I feel like that unit really gives us the best defensive line set, especially when it comes to passing downs and just in general. Tyree Wilson continues to display his elite strength, but what I've noticed is his get off isn't so damn slow with his hand in the dirt like it was before, and he's finally starting to make some good use of his hands to swat the hands, to disengage his arms. And if he can continue to learn that, develop his technique, after that we know he can use his strength and his nastiness inside the trenches to get after the quarterback or after the ball carrier. This change of position for Tyree Wilson may be what he truly needs to kickstart what we hope can be a great career for him in the silver and black. Now it's going to be interesting to see how we utilize Tyree Wilson moving forward for the rest of the season. Will they continue to give him more snaps in the interior, or do they ultimately envision him being the next defensive end of the future? Or is he going to be versatile in the fact that you can split snaps at him with a defensive tackle and a defensive end? Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how we use him moving forward. But me personally, for the time being, I think we have to ride this wave and continue to let him get those reps at the D tackle spot this season. And lastly, for those of you who were discouraged, upset that we drafted Tyree Wilson, and for those people that immediately wrote him off as a bust and didn't think he had a chance to develop, I just want to say let's not completely write him off yet, because he definitely has the elite physical traits to be a great player at the next level, and his technique has improved this year, and that's the main thing with me. I want to see continuous improvement, and so far he's been doing that. And if he can continue on this trajectory, I think we could really have something with Tyree Wilson. But so far this was definitely his breakout game in the NFL. Let's hope he can continue to build on this moving forward. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of Tyree Wilson moving forward? Let me know down below. But that being said, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.